Hello everybody and welcome to another Mr. Jerry Beans Man deck review. Today I'm going to be showing you guys my amazing food deck. This deck is the deck that inspired me to name my channel Mr. Jerry Beans Man because it showed me my favorite card when I was looking up and making the deck. It showed me the one of personally the best card on the planet, basically. Alright, first we're going to start off with the main card of the deck, Mr. Jerry Beans Man. In any of my decks that he's in, I try to make him the big kahuna in the deck. But he's a pretty good card, besides being a normal monster. He's 3 stars, which is good so you can get him out quick. And it's pretty good for synchros, for like level 6 and odd number synchros. It's a bit harder to get. He's also got 1750 attack, which is really good. It's the highest level 3 normal monster you can get. And then he also is a plant monster, which actually really helps out with this deck. Alright, moving on. Next we have 3 Nateria Strawberry. I really like Nateria Strawberry too. He or she, whatever you want to call it. I love the art for it. It's very artistic. It's like most Naterias. But I really like it. If you guys don't know the effect, it's the card gains attack to the level of your opponent's special summon or normal summon monster this turn. It gains 100 attack for each level. So if it's a level 3, it gains 300 attack, which would raise it up to a 19, which is pretty good. So if your opponent gets a level 8 or a level 10 synchro summon, it's really good, and it powers this strawberry up pretty fast. Next, we have 2 Nateria Beans. Nateria Beans is a very good card. I love the art on this one too, like most Nateria. I love a lot of Nateria arts. I also like the effect. You would set this card down, and then when it's attacked, it's not destroyed once per turn. So it's not destroyed, and then you got a nice stall. And in a Billy deck, you kind of want to keep stalls in. You want to keep stalling them until you can really show them the fun part of the deck, because normally Billy decks aren't really the best. Next, we have 3 Cherry Matos. Cherry Matos are kind of the main tuner of the deck to get out any synchros. He's actually, whenever I have a deck with tuners, I normally will put Cherry Mato in there, because he's actually a pretty good tuner. When he's destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 2 Amato monsters from your deck. Unfortunately, they cannot be used as synchro material that turn, but normally it'll be on your opponent's turn, so it doesn't matter anyways. Next, we have the other Amatos, just the Amato. These cards go along with Cherry Amato. What you'll normally do, or what I do at least, is when the Cherry Amato is destroyed, you get another Cherry Amato and just an Amato out. So that's a level 6 right there to get out level 6 Synchro, which is, there's a level 6 that really goes along with this deck. Next, we have 2 Mystic Tomatoes. I don't like this art. I wish I could have found... There's another art of him, but I can't find it. It's a lot more animated. This one's a lot more creepy, and I don't like that, because it's a food deck, and I like it to be a bit more jazzed out like these guys. But he's your search card. When he's destroyed, you go through your deck, and you find a dark monster with attack less than 15, which would be most likely your Cherry Mato, because he is a dark. And then you get a tuner, and then it's pretty nice. Next, we have Bacon Saver. The card does exactly what you think it does. It saves your bacon. Fortunately, this one is a zombie, so it doesn't go along with the plant type whole thing, but it's alright. It's got the word bacon in it, and that's why you gotta have it in the food deck. When this card is destroyed, or it's just in your graveyard, during either player's battle step, while this card is in your graveyard, you can banish it to negate an attack. So it's just a negate attack. Also stalls, like I said, stalling with a Billy deck is kind of important. Next, we got the Princess Plum Princess, the Princess of Ghosts. There we go, if I could speak. This card, I'm not going to read you guys the effect. I'm going to kind of just sum it up. Basically, what happens when it's destroyed, when it's face up and destroyed, it goes to your spell and trap card zone, and then from there, each turn, your opponent's monsters lose 100 attack. And you put counters on it, and it's really nice, and it really slows down the opponent. This could be bumped up to 2, just because of how good of the card is, but then you also take some damage because of that 900, so it's a bit iffy. Next, we have Nateria Pineapple. All face-up monsters you control are treated as plant-type monsters, so it's help out with the deck and stops with the zombies. So you can have all plants, and it really helps out with one of the cards. And if this card is in the graveyard and you don't control any pineapples, and you only control plant or beast-type monsters, and you don't control any spell or traps, you can special summon it back from the graveyard and replay it. So then you can keep your plant effect going. Next, we have a Flame Resonator. It's just for the tuner, and it'll gain 300 attack when you use it as synchro material. I was thinking about putting one of the spell cards that special summon him in here, but I thought it kind of took away from the Billy deck style. He's not really part of the deck too much. You could easily take him out and find a different tuner that really fits, but I like the effect, and he's a pretty good tuner. The only problem is the fire, but it also kind of helps if you got any fire synchros that you need a fire tuner for. Next, we're going to move on to the 2 ritual monsters. Hungry Burger. This monster is unfortunately a warrior, so it doesn't go along with the plants, but oh well. It's really weird that it's a warrior, but oh well. I was thinking about putting it to 3 because it is a food deck, and hamburger, it's like a real, oh look, it's food. Like, this is the most definite looking food out of basically the entire deck, but he's kind of weak. He's only got 2,000, and he's got 1850 defense, and for a ritual monster that's only level 6, it's kind of bad, because then you have to tribute 2 or 3 monsters just to get him out, so it's meh. And to add another, you'd also have to add another hamburger recipes, which is the next card. I put 2 in here because there's 2 Hungry Burger. This could potentially be put down to 1, just because you won't be using Hungry Burger too much. But you probably, if you would want to limit and try to change it up a bit, you'd probably get rid of a Hungry Burger and just keep 2 hamburger recipes, because spell card down in the bottom in your back row is kind of good, that is useless, so it kind of gives like an MST. If they just randomly are choosing and using their MST, it'll help, and you can have just a card that's useless get destroyed. Next, we have 2 Mystic Walk. You can tribute one of your monsters and take the attack or defense to increase your life points. So you power them up, and then you get rid of them, and you get a bunch of life points. Or if your monster, or if your opponent attacks you and they're attacking the weaker monster, and you don't want that weaker monster, and you don't want to take that damage from that weaker monster, you just gain the attack or defense, and then they have to choose a different monster to attack. Next, emergency provision. If you're running low on life points, take away as many back row cards as you want, and then you gain, let's see, how much is it? You gain 1,000 life points for each card. Yeah, that's what I thought. And so that keeps the stall up, and it's also emergency provision, so it's also in the food. This deck can stall very well. Next, we have a Poison of the Old Man. You can take 800 damage, or you can give 800 damage or receive 112 life points. 12,000. 1,200, I mean. And it's really nice. I normally go for the increase of life points, but a lot of people I know, they like the direct damage, but it's up to you. Next, we have a double summon. Probably all know what that does. It makes you summon 2 at a time, so that helps out with synchros. Next, one Mystical Space Typhoon, a Nobleman of Crossout, 1 Swords Revealing Light for the stall, 3 Axe of Despair. I'm going to put these guys off to the side because I'm going to show you what I do with these. Next to the trap, 2 Just Desserts. If your opponent fills up your field real quick, you play this, and then that's 500 damage for each monster on their field. Next, Call of Haunted. And last, Pineapple Blast. Now, Pineapple Blast, when you normal summon a monster, you flip this face up and destroy all your opponent's monsters. So it's quite helpful, like if they're spawning, they're getting a whole bunch of monsters out on the field, and you don't have anything, and then bam, get rid of basically all of them. Like if you're facing a Gearkian deck and they swarm, it's pretty nice to clear the field. Next, I'm going to show you what I normally like to do with these Axe of Despair. Since it's a Billy deck, I'm not playing to win, so I try to stall out until I get my Jerry Beansman out, and then I put 3 Axe of Despair on them. You might be thinking, wow, that's a lot. What the heck are you doing? But really, it's you could put it on any other card in the deck and maybe get some more attack, but why would you? Why not put it on the Ultimate Warrior? You know? And then he has over, I think, 4,000 attack. It's amazing for a little plant. And it really gets people freaked out and like, oh my goodness, it's too powerful. But sometimes it lasts long and sometimes it really helps. But, you know, since there's a lot of stalls, I've been able to get out on people many times. Many people question it, but I don't care. Next, we move on to the Synchros and XYZs. This deck can get out a lot of Synchros with that Cherry Mato and the Flame Reservoir. And then it can get out a couple XZs. I don't really like XZs too much, but so I've only put 1 in here. Number 20. Most of you probably already know the effects, so I'm not going to go into it. I'm probably not going to go into any of these guys' effect because they're pretty normal cards. Next, I have 2 Underworld Fighter. I just have him in here because he's a dark. And he's pretty easy to get out. He's a level 4. Next, we have Armor Arm. We have Ornette Dragon. Next, Queen of Thorns. This is a level 6 Synchro. You're going to want to get out as soon as possible because each player must pay 1,000 life points for each normal summon or special summon of a non-plant type monster. So it's since you're mostly plant, it helps out quite a lot. And if you got a pineapple out, you don't have to worry at all. And I'm probably gonna take out the level 4s and replace it with take out two of the level 4s and replace it with another 2 more queens, but unfortunately I don't have it. Next, I've got 2 Black Rose Dragon just for the clear of the field, and it's pretty easy to get out because it's a level 7. Next, 7 Swords, just because the equip cards that I do have in here, it kind of helps, and you can really manipulate, and he can get up to pretty high attacks if you give him those Axe of Despair. Next, an Ancient Fairy Dragon, Stardust, 2 Red Dragon Archfiend, Giant Castle, and then 1 Leo, the Keeper of Scarred Trees, or Tree. This one's in here because it's a beast and it's kind of like a plant, and he's pretty good. Alright everybody, there's my deck review. Hope you guys all liked it. Like I said, it's my favorite. Come back I think I'll have another one for you next week. All right, everybody. See ya. High five.